What is up, YouTube? And today we're going to be talking about this must-have shell for your team. Very good on supports, super broken for PVE especially, and it's very abusable, I'd say. It's going to be Artisan, guys. The bear drops from Nico Nana. Nico Nana is going to be like the first area of content for shells that you're going to be farming for a while. And this shell, you should definitely not overlook. A lot of newer players just kind of glance over it, but I'm here to tell you why it's super broken. So basically the way it works, it's a 3-turn cooldown. For 2 turns before you take action, the holder, you'll get a 700 defense buff, and then you get a shield. It'll be 350% at first, but once you actually max imprint it at level 40, it'll be 400%. And this is super strong. It scales with your own defense, it shields yourself, and also an ally with the lowest health percentage. And the 2-turn shield's very great because usually it doesn't end up getting like depleted, and then when this cooldown comes back up, you can apply it to yourself again and another character. So you're just cycling shields, and it just becomes very strong. A lot of people actually run 2 of this because if you have 2, you're just shielding your entire team, and you don't actually need to ever bring a healer or a sustained character. You can just bring a damage dealer and like full offensive firepower, and just rely on the shell to actually protect you. Now it's super good because if you look at, like, for example, Valerian, one of the best holders, you could have her at like 2k defense, right? And then you'll get an extra 700 defense when the shell activates, and then it'll calculate the shield. So if I have 2700 defense and I get 400% of that to a shield for yourself and an ally, that's pretty much going to be a 10k shield for Valerian, and also a 10k shield into a low health character. And for Valerian, that's like a third of her health, which is great. But if you look at like a damage dealer, a 10k shield is basically half their health, right? This is my Romoka. She's pretty maxed out. I do have to like fix her gear a bit. She actually has higher health than she needs. A 10k shield on her is literally half her health bar. So you can kind of see how this can be broken. And even though Valerian is a good holder, there's actually better holders in my opinion. I think Valerian needs this to actually function to make her tankier, but you can actually abuse this on a lot of speed characters. So for example, a Lily can abuse this very easily. Even though her defense isn't nearly as high, if you put her on the shell, when it procs, you'll be at 2k defense, and then you'll shield yourself, Lily, for 8000 and a DPS for 8000. Still a huge shield, and Lily can get super fast, so the 3-turn cooldown literally becomes nothing because you're cycling super quick. So characters that cycle very quickly can use it very well. I actually use this on my Doki Doki setup. If you look at my module presets here, you'll see my Kazuya the Reverie on this actually runs it. So if I go to Kazuya here, you can see this is what I usually run on her. 256 speed, right? And even though she's at 1800 defense, which is pretty high, this shell, I almost said artifact, really carries Doki Doki because you're constantly shielding yourself and other people on your team. And you're gonna see that it's not the only person I run it on my Doki Doki team. I also run it on Freya. So my Freya is on a weird build for PvP, but basically she runs it as well. She's at 2200 defense, and then once this procs, you go to 3k, and wow, you have a 12,000 shield on yourself and someone else. So this shell is super strong, especially if you're looking for just playing out long fights because of how much shielding you actually get. Now, I say you don't need a healer. You can run it with a healer, like Linglo, and it's like even better because you just never can die. And that's like a big strategy, especially if you're trying to farm something like Aurora or even Doki Doki, where there's a ton of damage that's coming out. Aurora, I run it on my Linglo, which makes her, which makes my team pretty much unkillable. I run 2 of them. And you're gonna see, if we look at like Inferno, Doki Doki, a lot of people are gonna be running this, right? So this guy's running Linglo. I'm sure he has an Artisan. Yeah, there it is, a Lily. This Lily is 290 speed. So you can basically see that she's just permanently shielding her team here, which is gonna be crazy. If you look at another team, you're gonna see, yep, Valerian has it here. Let's see, is there another one? Nope, there's only one, but you can pretty much see, like, if you look at a lot of the leaderboards, if you just test it out as well, you'll see, like, you'll feel the difference in Artisan. It's like super powerful. The shielding is crazy, and it really makes your team a lot more stable. Like, you can see like almost every single Valerian's on it. This guy's running 2 with the super fast Lily, which is the setup I run on my Freya, and Kazuya, 2 Artisans. It just makes it so that even if you don't have a healer, it doesn't really feel like you're ever taking damage. So I'm going to recommend this shell to you. On the screen here, you can see just a huge list of characters that can use it. I personally recommend it on faster characters and also on Valerian because it synergizes very well with her S3 shields as well. It stacks with her Hazy Dream shield, and it makes her super tanky as a tank. If you bring her with a full green team into Doki Doki, for example, she gets focused a lot. So if you have the shell on her, she'll live for pretty much forever. And I'm going to recommend it also on, just like I mentioned, very fast characters that can abuse resetting the cooldown on this. So make sure you guys use this shell. If you guys are struggling ever in content, you're dying a lot, this shell will save your butt and make hard content a lot easier. Trust me, just test it out. It's super good in PvP too, so you can always transfer it over to a better matrix for PvP. But yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys out in surviving in your runs, and I'll see you guys next video.